One of the more common questions I get from newer writers is, do I need an agent? I'm going to cut to the chase. If you want to be a traditionally published author, whether that's exclusively traditionally published or some combination of traditional and self-publishing, you want an agent. In this video, I'll go into the ins and outs of why that is, and in order to understand it all, we have to talk a little bit about the history of agenting, how we got to the situation we're in today, where agents act as the gateways to the traditional publishing houses, and what it all means for you as an author trying to break into the field. I'll also talk about the business relationship between author and agent, and specifically what they bring to the table, and I'll do that via 10 benefits as I see them. Hi, I'm Beaulieu, and I'm a full-time fantasy and science fiction author. I've published a dozen novels, more than 20 short stories, and I love talking about the craft of writing, which is why I started this channel, A Novel Approach. A Novel Approach is dedicated to helping you reach your writing goals by sharing inspiration, technique, and my 20-plus years of experience in writing and publishing. We're going to get into the main content in just a second, but before we do, I wanted to let you know that this video doesn't have a sponsor, but it is supported by those of you who get value out of these instructional videos and spread the word. Maybe buy me a coffee on coffee.com, link in the description below, or buy my books at my website, quillings.com. Thanks so much for your continued support. It's because of you that I can continue to make free videos just like this one. And for those of you who are new, please consider subscribing so you can keep up on all the latest tips, tricks, and deep dive techniques I'm adding on writing. Okay, so I said in the opening that you do want an agent. I want to explain why, but in order to do that, we need a little history. Let's start here. Agents work on commission. Years ago, that commission was 10% for domestic deals and 15% for foreign deals. And keep in mind, I'm an author living in the US, and so my frame of reference is from those contracts written under US law, and foreign contracts and deals with agents may work a little bit differently. That said, years ago, and I'm talking 30, 40 plus years ago, publishers accepted unsolicited submissions, and they had teams of editors and junior editors who read through the slush pile and tried to find books they wanted to publish from unagented authors. As time went on, budgets were squeezed and editors were let go, and those who remained were asked to do more and more by publishing companies. Plus, keep in mind that finding material in the slush pile that was of high quality, in other words, good enough to publish, is difficult. I can't put a solid number on it, but at some point in your career, you should try to read slush submissions, or the equivalent by offering to read other people's manuscripts that they think is publishable quality. The actual number of publishable books from unsolicited manuscripts is likely well short of 1%. And that's not to say that there's not good material that's coming in. It may be that what's submitted is high quality writing, but it doesn't fit their list, or they have an author that's kind of like that and they're trying to diversify. But it's a very small number that's going to make it to a stage where the publisher wants to make an offer for the book. Strangely enough, editors are hoping to find any excuse to set a manuscript aside while simultaneously hoping they discover a gem that they can bring to market. All that said, because reading slush takes so much time and has such a low chance of success, publishers started to close themselves off to unsolicited submissions and only accept submissions from agents. What did this lead to? It meant agents were doing more of the work. They were now in charge of the slush pile, more or less. There are still ways to get manuscripts into the system, even if a publisher doesn't accept unsolicited manuscripts, but by and large, you had to go through an agent. And so what did agents do? They raised their rates. The standard rate is now 15% for domestic sales instead of 10%, and 20% with a 50-50 split for the foreign agent and the domestic agent for foreign deals. What does that mean for you, the author? It means that by and large, your best chance of getting a deal with a traditional publisher is through an agent. Because what's the alternative? You can self-publish, of course, or you have two possible paths to publish traditionally without an agent. You can submit through an open submissions period, which publishers open up now and again. You'll have to keep an eye on that or get it through word of mouth, or turn your submission into a solicited submission by having an editor ask for it. How can you do that? By talking to them at a convention, striking up a conversation, attending a pitch session, or otherwise schmoozing your way into the editor saying, yeah, I'll take a look at your novel. At which point it becomes a solicited manuscript, and you've kind of worked around that restriction of only accepting agented submissions. A quick note, from this point forward, when I say agent, I mean a good agent. For those who aren't aware, and you should be aware, there are 4 kinds of agents in the world. There are wannabes, has-beens, scammers, and good agents. And obviously you'll only want that last kind, the good agents. The wannabes are a little bit too new to be effective for you. The has-beens maybe had some success in the past but aren't getting much success now. The scammers are a bit hard to detect when you're new to the field. I'll create another video soon on how to research all that stuff, find the agents you actually want to reach out to, and then how to do that, how to reach out and hopefully get them to at least look at your manuscript. So be sure to subscribe to be notified when that comes out. Let me also say this. Entering into an agreement with an agent is a long-term business relationship. It's like a marriage for both parties, and it's why agents are so selective. You don't want an agent who isn't going to be right for you long term, and neither does the agent. I'll have more to say about this in that other video, so I'll set that aside for now. Just a word of caution. I've seen quite a few writers over the years, mostly while talking about problems they're having with agents, and they refer to agents as the writer's employees, and that they should do as you want. But that's not true, and you shouldn't think of it that way. Agents are not your employees. You are a client of theirs. It is a mutually beneficial professional relationship and should be treated as such. Okay, so let's start diving into the pros. I'll note at this point, I still haven't answered the question, what good are literary agents? Let's start with this. They judge your work, quite literally. They judge your material before taking you on, and they continue to do so as you write more books. Some people give that word judge a negative connotation, but you shouldn't look at it that way. Agents live and breathe fiction, and they have a good sense of whether or not material is ready or nearly ready for publication. Keep in mind, they see hundreds, maybe thousands of pitches and manuscripts every month. They wouldn't take you on in the first place if they didn't like you and your work. But even after the initial book or books that made them take you on as a client, they'll continue to help you figure out if what you have is ready for submission. Pro number 2. Agents know the field. They're in contact with editors every day. They know who's looking for what, and so can match your material up with an editor who will be more receptive to it. Those editors have developed relationships with those agents over time, and they've come to trust their taste. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to buy everything the agent sends them, but they'll be predisposed to expect something good at the least, something worth their time. And the agents know the publishers as well. They know which ones can do well with certain types of material. They know how the publishers have been operating over the years and whether or not it's going to be a good fit for you and the work you're submitting. If, fingers crossed, you end up getting multiple offers or an auction for your book or books, they'll give you guidance on the pros and cons of the offers, which will include the pros and cons of the editors and the teams who'll be working on your material. Pro number 3, agents know publishing contracts inside and out. This is one of the biggest pros of having an agent. To be clear, you could get a lawyer who specializes in publishing to look over your contract, and you may choose to do that. I'm not necessarily advocating for any particular agent. You should be doing your due diligence to figure out whether or not that agent can do what they say they can. Ask them about prior contracts, how comfortable they are negotiating, and that sort of thing, and you can make your decision from there. But that is essentially included in the agent's fees. Plus, agents who've been around for a while will have boilerplate contracts where they've worked out the language that avoids obvious rights grabs, clauses that hurt the author or negatively impact you long term, and so on. In other words, they've already haggled with the publisher and come to a rough starting point that avoids them having to hash that out each and every time. And the agent's clients all benefit from that. In short, an agent helps you get the best terms possible for your work. Now, agents can't work magic. The book is what it is, and you only have so much leverage depending on the material. So that doesn't mean that you're going to love all of the terms, but at least you're on better terms than you would be on your own. Pro number 4, agents often pay for themselves. I haven't really covered money up to this point, but here it is. I mentioned above the 15% domestic fees that an agent gets and 20% foreign commission rates. When an agent is negotiating a contract for you, they will often be able to haggle and raise the contract price per book so that their fees are paid for. When I first got an offer for a trilogy that I'd written, my first contract, it was through Nightshade Books. This was 2010 roughly, and the publisher offered $5,000 per book, so $15,000 total. I didn't have an agent at the time. I then went shopping, talked to some of the agents that I'd already been in contact with, ended up with my current agent, Russell Galen with SGG Lit in New York, fantastic agent, and he negotiated that up to $7,500 per book instead of $5,000. Now, could I have done that on my own? Maybe, but I'm not comfortable with it, and you may not be either. And the agent will just be better at knowing what kind of money certain books can command from which kind of publishers. And you won't have that kind of information handy, and so you'll be on your back foot trying to negotiate where they'll be on the front foot. So again, agents often will pay for themselves. You don't necessarily have to look at that 15% commission as something that is lost in this process. You'll probably actually gain money in the end by having that agent. Pro number 5. Agents will help you develop your work as you write more. They can act as sounding boards for new projects, and you should absolutely use them in this manner. When you come up with new ideas for your next project, you may have 3, 4, 10 ideas, who knows? And you should present those to your agent and try to figure out where you're headed. Map out your upcoming projects because those will take years to write, and you want to spend your time wisely. It takes a long time to write a book, and you don't want to have a miss. Every book is another chance to hit a home run, and so you can improve those odds by choosing your material wisely. And it's invaluable to have an educated eye, a professional eye, looking at your material and helping you to choose if you should pursue it, modify it, or maybe set it aside and let the ideas mature. Pro number 6. Agents help to preserve a positive relationship between you, the author, and your editors or other people in the publishing company. First, you're not the one haggling over contract terms. Your agent is doing that. And so hopefully that lowers any stress or acrimony on either person's part, you or the editor, during that contract phase. Now, I will say editors are used to this kind of thing, and authors, generally speaking, are not. You will probably take things much more poorly if there's some contentious language that you're going over or terms that you don't feel are favorable to you, that sort of thing. For an agent, it will not faze them at all. And as time goes on, all sorts of issues will crop up. What kinds of issues? Editors not editing in a timely manner or being non-responsive. The publisher not paying when they're supposed to. The publisher not publishing the book when they're supposed to, when the contract says they should. Turnover in editors. You may lose your editor. Publishing is a highly fluid field, and editors come and go at a very high rate. Also, a publisher not abiding by other contract terms. There are just thousands of things that could go wrong, and the agent is used to dealing with those things and can help you navigate them in kind of a low-stress way for you, or at least the lowest stress possible, and get you the best possible outcome. Pro number 7. Agents may help you to become a better writer. I say may because there are 2 basic types of agents in my view, and they're not mutually exclusive. Not every agent is one or the other. They are some combination of the 2, but many seem to be more focused on the business side of publishing and help guide your career from that perspective, just choosing good projects, getting good contracts out of the publisher, and slowly building your audience over time so that you can sell more books and command better contracts with bigger advances. And others might come from publishing and have more of an editorial bent to them and help you become a better writer that way, where they read your material and give you some detailed notes on what's wrong, almost a pre-edit phase before it goes on submission to your editor. Again, all agents will have some of these qualities, but generally speaking, no matter what kind of agent they are, agents won't send out work they don't think is publishable. It's their reputation on the line as well as yours, remember. Some will work with you closely on the manuscript, others will only give high-level notes. And this is one of the things that you should ask an agent before signing with them. How do they like to work? You should know that and be comfortable with it before signing with them. And again, I'm going to cover that more in that other video that I mentioned. Pro number 8. Agents will help develop your career as time goes on by helping you weigh your choices to make informed decisions, by helping to get your name out and building your reputation and your brand, by helping to build goodwill with your publishers as your audience begins to grow, and also sometimes by saving you from yourself by making poor decisions. They will guide you in that. In other words, agenting isn't all about making the right decisions, it's about avoiding poor decisions that may hamstring you sometime in the future. They help to minimize the damage to your career when downswings arrive. And believe me, downswings will arrive. This is a very up and down kind of field. You want someone in your corner when things do go badly. So this kind of advice that I'm talking about now, over the course of years and different books, different projects that crop up, it's an incremental thing, but it adds up a lot over time. Think about the stock market. If you graphed you as a stock over time without an agent, and compared you with an agent over the same time period, your agented self will likely yield considerably higher returns in the long run than your unagented self. So that's what an agent is bringing to the table. Small incremental adds to your stock as time goes on that really adds up over time. Pro number 9, agents will help recover your career if you have a downturn. There's a saying among authors, we fight to get published and then we fight to stay published. Downturns are very common. Your career will have all sorts of ups and downs. An agent can help you navigate those waters, finding the right publishers to keep you afloat and rehabilitate your brand until you see another upswing. Pro number 10, agents help navigate the rapidly changing landscape of fiction. The field has changed dramatically in the last 2 decades since I've been writing. With the advent of ebooks and audiobooks, to the writing conglomerates merging, to self-publishing becoming a viable alternative to traditional publishing, the field is wildly different than it was 20 years ago. And that's set to change even more rapidly with the advent of AI. Agents have their ears to the ground. They keep up on their field not only through osmosis, it's happening all around them all the time, they're reading about it, they're talking to editors and other agents, but also because they research the changes in approaches to publishing, the technology, the legal and business implications, and so on. And they use that knowledge to help you make the right decisions and get the best possible deals for you and your long-term career. Before I wrap up, I'll pose this question. Could someone do all of these things themselves? Okay, maybe, yeah. But that person is very, very rare. And even someone who came from the publishing world, maybe the agenting world, has other things to do. They have to write. That's your job, not agenting. And so even if you could do all that stuff, why would you? There is an opportunity cost to doing that stuff. And also, you may not be as focused and good at it as an agent would be, and perhaps the best use of your time, again, even if you could do all those things and you were skilled at it, you probably want to focus on your writing and let an agent do that stuff for you. I hope that helps you to understand what agents bring to the table. If you found this video useful, I hope you'll like and share it with fellow writers and writer groups especially. That really helps to grow the channel. As I mentioned earlier, I'm planning at least one more video on how to research and query an agent, how to land them. I'll also talk about how to best interact with an agent, either in that same video or maybe on a video of its own. I'm not sure yet. So be sure to hit subscribe to be notified when those come out. I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, dream big, stay positive, and keep writing. Peace, everyone.